What's up, guys? This is Bull by the Fell-Handed. Today we have a request on how to build a Lunatic ride. Now, if you will notice, the first thing you will notice is that the video sped up just a little bit. Now, the reason I did this is because I had a lot of footage just building this bad boy, and then I had a little bit more footage just modifying it. All in all, it was like 30 minutes of just me building this bad thing. So I kind of wanted to cut it down, so everything is going to be sped up just a little bit, except the actual combat footage. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, Paul, I want to see how you made this. I want to, I love this thing. I want to build it." That is fine. I have actually uploaded this, published it in Exhibition. So if you just go to that tab in the top bar there that says Exhibition and punch in what I have named this, you will find it. If you'd like to know what I named this particular vehicle, you will find out a bit later. Now, the changes I made originally, when you think Lunatics in the game of Crossout, you think shotguns, you think unguided missiles, and you think melee weapons. Now, I do have all three of those. What I decided to do on this first build was run melee, strictly melee, and some shotguns. So I kind of had a little bit of both. What I eventually decided to do was kind of add an additional plow on the front, which has a very, very high structure rating, and then have a trifecta there, 3 shotguns behind it, kind of half covered, half not. Kind of, give them a little bit of toughness to them. That way they could kind of remain in the game longer. Now, essentially what you're going to see is just a modification of this build. Now, one thing you're going to notice about me is when I do a build, it has to look like a car. I am a huge Mad Max fan, and even though I had the Death Shed, just a big box on wheels, when I used to run cannons, it's pragmatic, but at the same time you have to have some form. It can't all be form over function. You have to have a little, it can't all be function over form. You have to have a little sexiness to it, if you will. Now, interesting story, my primary vehicle, if you look it up in the Exhibition, it is called Gravy. If you look it up, something extremely close to that vehicle was online. I saw it in Exhibition. I said, you know what, I want that. I had just made a Fat Man somehow, which is a epic weapon. It is purple. So I sold the Fat Man and I bought everything necessary to build that particular car. It has a lot of items on it that increase your reputation. Now, what that does is, in addition to looking cool, it gives you a bonus after the battle in order to kind of level up faster. Now, granted, of course, it doesn't do a whole bunch, but in the long run, it all adds up. So, right now, I'm kind of trying to magic up the sides of this. If you ever watch me build, kind of like now, you notice I'm extremely big into symmetry. Everything has to, be matchy-matchy. It has to look perfect. And it's kind of hard to do that in this game because some things just naturally don't want to flow together. Now, I am kind of a fan of the chain tires. These are specifically Lunatics, these chain wheels. Some of the parts I'm using are not. Most of them are. What I'm putting on right now is a Reputation piece of fender on the sides there. And on the back here, I'm kind of making a holder for a spare tire, which will also raise your reputation. Plus, it looks cool. And, it has to look like a car to me, personally. You have to paint it up, and, you have to chrome it out. So shiny, so chrome. So, you have to take care of it. Now, the issue I had on this original build is, you will see the shotguns where I will put them eventually, which is a pretty good spot. The downside is they've got a good field of fire, The only issue is, they would get taken out very easily because they're kind of on a pedestal. If not, they will be soon. And the other issue was with the buzzsaws in the front. If I hit someone at full speed, most of the time I would end up flying underneath them. And normally that would be a good thing, but my blades are mounted flat, not vertical, so I still wouldn't really do any damage. So it became enough of an issue to where I ran this thing a few times and I was like, yeah, I've got to change something big time before I post anything, because I'm just, one failure after another. Because it just was not working out for me. And guys, if you've got a build out there and you're not being successful for it, or excuse me, you're not being successful with it, ask for help, see what you can do. I'm more than willing to help you, get something and make it happen out there. You got to have the bull horns, by the way. I am the bull. I have to have the bull horns. It's required. So, I'm here to help. So, we can have an open dialogue on what you think you need to do. We can try to figure things out. Now, you'll notice some things on here I like to have the regular color. Some things I like to have the chrome. It says aluminum. It's chrome. It's chrome to me. How about that? Your wheels, fenders, pipes, things like that have to be chrome. Certain things have to be unchromed. I like my weapons unchromed. So I'm really glad in the last update they added the thinner. It was a really big deal to me. But as you can see here, we're just kind of dolling this thing up. Now, the downside is that this is not necessarily the finished product. That being said, we're going to the finished product right now. Now, as you can see here, I'm just going to change up the front end. I'm going to take a few bits off. I'm going to move some stuff around. We're going to drop the buzzsaws. Now, I know you guys are wondering, why is he sticking the horns back there? The reason I was sticking the horns back there was for the simple fact that I wouldn't have to find them again and color them again. So here I am buying another Lupara. And that's just kind of give me another shotgun. I have a power rating of 9. I want 3 shotguns. Shotguns are 3 apiece, so let's make this thing happen. Now, I set them up, and I said, a lot of people have these things really dug in, so I kind of decided to eventually put the big ram bit in the front there, and then end up setting the shotguns behind that. So from the front, we could do business. From the side, you could probably get a shotgun pretty easy. Granted, of course, a lot of times I do things, I end up doing it and I change my mind half dozen times, and before I notice, I have spent most of my day just messing around in the garage without actually doing anything, without achieving anything. No scrap, no wires, no copper, nothing, just kind of screwed around all day for no reason. So as you can see here, I'm trying to finesse this to where I can get it to where I'm happy with it. And making me happy is extremely difficult. I am only putting 1 shotgun up there because you can obviously duplicate it with the left trigger. If you have any issues, you can just hit the help button on top of your building there. I am looking for something. I don't know what I'm looking for. There you go. The long armature bits there, whatever you want to call them. And the idea here is, guys, this is exactly like I said. We're just going to set it up to where I can have my 3 shotguns behind the plow, and then, we can kind of do work from there on out. Put the plow in front of us, have the shotguns protected, ram people at the same time, so on and so forth. Now, if you want to get a little bit more out of, I was going to buy another shotgun. I forgot about the one I put in the back. If you want to get a little bit more out of your vehicle, you can always put a generator on it. I have a light generator on here now. The gas generator gives you +3. Light generator only gives you 1, but I have to have light generators in order to build gas generators. So I have this giant plow kind of stuck out from the rest of everything else. And coincidentally, it has a ridiculous high structure. Now, it is heavy as the day is long. So, you need to make sure you have that room for it. That's kind of the downside of the Growl Cabin series, is that, if you push it too hard and, you end up having a lot of weight on it, like a lot of the stuff from the scavengers and nomads, it's not going to work out for you. You're not going to have a very good time because, you know, your vehicle's not going to move very fast. And that's the hallmark of the Lunatics, is things need to go fast. Either you're fast and difficult to hit, or you're slow and need to take a lot of punishment. That's kind of the downside if you have a fast vehicle and somehow you get kind of hung up to where you're an easy target. Most of the time you will be taken apart. Now, I'm not saying this is the best design, I'm just saying this is kind of one I came up with off the cuff. We're going to take it for a quick little test drive, see how it does. The 3 shotguns there all at once are just fantastic. It works very, very well. You could even go so much as to armor them up if you wanted to. Build a little armored hut around them, so to speak. I've seen it done, and it does kind of good. So, this is the name of the vehicle right here for my fans. I saved it. It's been saved, and I have uploaded. I have published it in the exhibition. If you'd like to find this vehicle, search for that in exhibition. Now we're going to have a little bit of gun time here with this particular vehicle I have created for the community. Now, if you would like me to test drive your creations, or you would like me to feature some of your videos on my channel, comment on them, what have you, just let me know. Either comment below or hit me up on Bull by the Fell-Handed on Facebook. Now, we are rolling. We are pretty fleet of foot here to be such a large vehicle. Now, the long wheelbase here is going to give us very good stability. So we came through, we took a round on the way through, and essentially we're just going to pull out, fire a few rounds, and reload. Now, if you get weapon coolers, weapon radiators, things like that, this is going to help you immensely. Your coolers let you fire more shots before you need to cool down. And your radiator helps you reload once you are into cooldown mode. So we're just essentially just going to kind of pull up on this guy and just lather him up with those shotguns. This guy's got some drones. I am fully aware of what drones do, so as you can see, I'm trying to target the drones, get rid of them. A gentleman right next to me kind of bought it. We're going to swing back around this corner, annihilate that gentleman. Without breaking his stride, we're going to go right into this guy. And we've kind of got him pinned against the wall here, and we're just going to break him down like a shotgun, no pun intended. We're just kind of stripping pieces off of him there, left, right, and center. And it ends up working out pretty good for us. We have yet to really take any significant damage, and we still have all our guns. Everything's going fine for us so far. The downside is, as the team is doing kind of good, actually. I mean, their team not so much. The downside is I kind of put myself in a bad position here, as the other gentleman, the one remaining gentleman, is right here putting rounds on me. I pretty much give him my vehicle as a freebie, and he is just lathering me up. I've only got 2 guns left. He managed to take one off, and I cannot move. I can't get out of here. I can't do anything. Ally comes to take some pressure off of me, which is fantastic because I really need it. So while this gentleman's engaged, I'm just going to sit back and just lather him up with my 2 shotguns. And, this kind of shows you how quickly things can go from in your favor to, drastically against you. Because I was having a very, very good game until I ran into this gentleman, and then things kind of went sideways for me, literally. So we are going to cap. Why not? I was debating. I said, you know what? I've got 3 wheels and I've got a little bit of health left and 2 shotguns. Let's make some stuff happen. And I said, you know what? I would much rather have the cap points because it's about that time. And then as soon as that happens, the MVP pops up on the corner there. So I was like, oh, okay. So I must have done fairly well. Ended up getting some good kills. Made some things happen on the board there. Guys, I really appreciate everyone watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you'd like to see more Crossout videos, just let me know. If you'd like to see me build something else, just let me know. And if you'd like me to comment on your videos, just let me know. We'll see you guys next time.